Martha, how many times have I told you not to run? Running inside a house is never attractive.
But it's the carriage.
I heard you the first time.
Imagine, Mrs. Medlock. She's come all the way from India.
You talk too much, Martha.
Sorry, Mrs. Medlock. That's what my mom says. I talk too much.
Staff, I don't wish to repeat myself. Pay strict attention.
Yes, Mrs. Medlock.
As you know, a young lady is coming to stay here at Misselthwaite Manor, Mary Lennox.
The master's young niece.
She has no one else in the world.
Poor child. Her parents took a cholera in a far-off land. Tisk, tisk.
What is cholera?
You don't want to know, lad.
Yes, I do.
It's like a terrible fever. Only worse.
Never mind that. She's to be left to herself, more or less. I understand she's a loony child. Above all, there's to be no mention of, well, you know who, Mr. Craven's orders. Do you all understand?
Yes, Mrs. Medlock.
Good.
She's here, she's here. I'll answer the door.
You'll do no such thing. You forget yourself, Martha.
Sorry, Mrs. Medlock.
John,
Yes, Mrs. Medlock.
the door.
Right you are, Mrs. Medlock. The door.
Mind your manners. Chin up. The rest of you can get back to your duties. There's more than enough work to keep you busy, I'm sure.
Miss Mary, are you up?
Cook is so proud of herself. She found recipes for making porridge the way they do in India.
And she sprinkled cinnamon in the hot cocoa. Seems in India, they like more flavor than we do in England.
Miss Mary.
She's not still sleeping, is she?
How should I know?
Which one of you is Sowerby? We're all Sowerby, miss. Martha Sowerby.
I'm Martha, Miss Mary. Nice to meet Jane.
Miss Mary.
And nice to meet Betty.
Miss Mary. Mrs. Medlock said you were to look after me. You should have been here earlier. I had to dress myself.
Can't you put on your own clothes?
You're a strange sort of servant. I never had to dress myself in India. It's the custom. When I was in India, Conchi dressed me.
That would be the foreign lady in the strange dress. The one who accompanied you in the carriage?
It's not a strange dress. It's called a sari. It's what Hindu women wear in India. You're very ignorant.
It's true I'm to look after you, Miss Mary, but I'm really not your servant.
Then whose servant are you?
She's Mrs. Medlock's servant.
And Mrs. Medlock is Mr. Craven's servant. Does my uncle know I'm here?
That he does, miss. But you needn't expect to see him. If it's 10 to 1, you won't.
He comes and goes as the moon strikes.
But I want to see him.
He rarely sees anyone.
But I'm his niece. That's not likely to make any difference to the master.
Very set in his ways he is.
What is this stuff? Looks horrid.
It's Indian porridge. Cook made it special for you.
I never eat porridge. Throw it out.
Throw it out?
Oh, miss, you don't mean that.
I always mean what I say.
Put a spoon of sweet syrup on it, or a bit of sugar.
That will make it tasty. Didn't you hear what I said? I don't want it. I don't want any breakfast.
I hate to see good food go to waste.
If some children saw this tray, they'd lick it clean.
Why?
Why?
Because they're as hungry as young hawks and foxes. I don't know what it is to be hungry. Take it away. The cocoa too? I don't like cocoa. But cook with cinnamon in it. Cinnamon only makes it worse. I hate cinnamon. Now, help me with my dress.
You say so, miss.
What am I to do with myself all day?
Mrs. Medlock says you're not
Just
Leave the apples. I'm taking them back home with me. I'll bake some tasty pies. Only stopped by to visit with old Ben. Poor codger. A broken leg is no blessing. But I couldn't leave without saying hello.
Do you mean to say all these servants are your children, Mrs. Sowerby?
They're me children all, yes. Of course they belong to Mr. Sowerby, too. May he rest in heaven.
How curious. I suppose I shall spend my days here, wandering about, being lonely and bored.
Rubbish, child. I know. You must get yourself a bit of ground and grow a garden. It will do wonders for you.
You won't be lonely then. You'll see.
I don't know anything about gardening. Let Deacon be your teacher, miss.
he could be like a brother to you.
I never had any brothers or sisters. I've got 11.
I know what we'll do, Miss Mary. That is, if you'd like. I don't mean to presume.
What?
We'll make you an honorary member of the Sowerby family.
Would you like that, Miss Mary?
It's most certainly a curious proposition. Yes, I think I might like it. Thank you.
Welcome to the family, Miss Mary.
There are so many in your family. How does it work?
Oh, Mary, a family is a sacred thing, something to cherish.
We all work together to make sure that things get done.
Like the cooking and the cleaning.
And the lacking and the playing.
We're one big happy family. We love each other and take care of each other. Can you understand that?
I've got lots of people to take care of me, but they don't make me happy.
That's because they're not your family.
But my family is...
Oh, Mary, we didn't mean to upset you. There are so many of us, and yet there is always room in our hearts for one more.
Sure we do.
Of course. We can be your family. You'll always be welcome. We could play together.
You can even help with the chores.
It's so nice to have a new sister.
Family is people that care about you, really care about each other.
I don't quite know what to say.
Say you'll be our sister.
I'll be your sister.
And I also said we needn't rush things. Please see that he gets his ration.
Yes, Doctor.
I don't understand it myself, but I must admit it's something of a miracle.
Just yesterday, Colin managed to make a joke. He even chuckled at himself.
While standing by his bedside this morning, he slapped me on the derriere.
Master Colin does have a bit of color in his cheeks, and a bit of nerve as well, I hear.
Who would have thought it? Master Colin in a lively mood.
I've even seen him smile once or twice.
I give a lot of credit to Miss Mary. She doesn't spoil him or tolerate his tantrums, and she's quite blunt with him.
I haven't heard him scream or yell in weeks.
He doesn't throw his tantrums anymore. He's even quite polite. He answers me when I speak.
Down by the stable, I saw him feed a carrot to a pony.
He never. Come to think of it, he's been eating a lot better himself. And when I lift him from his wheelchair, I can tell he's gained a pound or two.
He doesn't seem as tired or angry. All I know is that something is happening to Master Colin. I wonder what could be the sudden cure.